just to get rid of the confusion. Coach Richard here. It is a rainy day outside, so I'm doing this back in my office. Hmm. It is a green screen. I have many things that I do when I talk with people all over the world. This is one of my favorite. But here's the point I want to talk about to get rid of the confusion is that the people I work with throughout the world are really struggling, probably like you, probably like I did for a long time, because they're living in a state of debt and desperation and decrepitude. And what I really work at and help people elevate themselves, they have to do it. I can provide the systems and the methodology and the products to move to a place of peace and prosperity and vitality. Imagine that: peace, prosperity, and vitality. Living in a state of boundless energy, of boundless thought and imagination, and absolutely boundless capital to continue to build and to live a life that you always imagined. You know, when you were 18, you probably dreamt a whole lot more than you're dreaming today. Oh, some of you weren't. Some of it was really, really, really tough. But for the most part, a lot of you did. You had that imagination. You looked out. You saw the possibilities of what the world had to offer, and you were going to go grab it. You're going to go out and reach it. You're going to get hold of it and take care of yourself and your future family. And that may not be happening today, but that's okay. And it's not okay that it's not happening. It's okay that it's not the conclusion of your life and your life journey, but it's merely a place, a landing spot, kind of like going down a set of steps, finding a landing and saying, okay, I'm now going forward. Maybe it shouldn't be going down steps. Maybe it's more like going up steps. Yeah. You know, there have been times in my life where things have been so tough and I've made a lot of decisions that probably weren't right. But you know what? We've all done that. That's all part of the human condition. And if we recognize it and we see it and we understand it, then we can take the next steps to go forward, not just wallow around in the morass of mediocrity and all the other people around us that maybe didn't make right decisions, and it's still there, right? Because that's our law of association, that whole thing where we're still there. You don't have to stay in that place. You don't have to. You know, our world is amazing in respect to the opportunities it provides, but it's always changing. It's always moving forward. And there will always be, powers and thereabout that want to control your life rather than you taking back ownership and control of your life. Life, as I keep saying, is a place for us to have that epic adventure, to be able to leave our mark, to be able to leave it a little bit better than we found it. But we have to live in a state of peace and prosperity and vitality. Energy is where it starts, number one. Without question, energy. To be able to have clarity of thought, have functional bodies that continue to move forward. I can look around my community and I can see functional bodies. Well, yeah, I guess they're functional. And it seems to be the majority. And it doesn't have to be that way, but people get trapped in that. And they get trapped in it because that's the way that they are. Everything hurts, everything's bad, and the people that they're now associating with are also reinforcing how it's energy and bad and stuff. It does not have to be that way. There are systems, there are products, there are programs to be able to move people out of that, move it out quickly. Now, your definition of quickly may be different than mine. You always say, the first steps are the first 90 days, not the first 9 days, not the first 9 hours, the first 90 days, where you can actually feel the difference, notice the difference. People around you see the difference. Yeah, that's the thing. But once you can get to that stage, you can increase that energy level. Now your clarity of thought starts to come about. Now you understand that there's a lot more that you can accomplish rather than continue to be in that state of just following the leader all the way along, regardless of where it's going. So yeah, peace, prosperity, and vitality. That, folks, is the essence of life, because you have more influence through prosperity. You have more influence through vitality, and you absolutely have more influence when you are in a peaceful state of mind. You know, a friend of mine has a whole deal. He's a virtual mentor of mine, Bliss, Richard Bliss Brook. Look it up. Brooke. I think it's Brook E. Anyways, Richard Bliss Brook. He lives in Hawaii now, not all his entire life. He sort of grew up working outside and working in a chicken plant. Today, living in Hawaii with his wife, Kimmy. But why Bliss? That's really his middle name. It's something he took to heart, something he realized that there was more inside of him that were people were telling him he was capable of. Amazing. And it's just, I'm always thankful for him and his perspective and his outlook and his leadership. But most importantly, what I'm most appreciative in him is the number of people he's influenced to go out and live their life in a state of peace, prosperity, and vitality. And I'm sort of carrying that on as well, too. So away we go. If you're interested, you know what? Take action. Why don't you just take action? Why don't you just decide that you're going to reach out and say, what is this whole thing about peace, prosperity, and vitality? How is that accomplishable? How is it that I can move to that spot from where I am? It doesn't happen overnight, but by God, it happens a lot quicker than you think it could. All right, everybody, take care, be well. You've got some living to do. I've got some living to do. Let's get on with it. We'll get it done. All right.